Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic, back to again with another celebrity reading. This time it's on the highly requested Ice Spice. If you haven't seen my last reading on her, I'll put a link to it up here. I'm gonna tell you like this. I did not want to do this reading because I feel like this is random and not that interesting. So I swear to God, if this flops, you guys have been hounding me. If this flops, y'all all owe me. Y'all owe me some tips. So you just hit the thanks button down below and you could tip. Y'all owe it to me because I'm doing this for y'all, and I swear to God, if this flops, I'm gonna be so mad because I feel like this is such a random non-issue. I'm gonna do the reading for y'all and give you the honest tea, but I swear to God, I'm gonna be so mad at y'all. Anyways, essentially, Cleotrapa, who was on tour with Ice Spice, claims that Ice Spice copied her and is like a mean person and a bully and all this stuff. And I think she said she was talentless, whatever. Let me drop in the cards. And you guys basically want me to do a reading on Ice Spice and her career and what's going on. So let's just do this. Remember, these readings are all alleged for tippers only. Let's get started. Also, please join the YouTube members link down below. You are missing out. There's so much exclusive content, exclusive readings on celebrities you won't get anywhere else. You can win a reading from me. There's pick-a-cards that are exclusive. You're missing out, okay? $5, $10, or $15 tier. There's a lot of people in there, and we have fun over there. Okay. Ice, Cleotrapa, energy between. Okay, well, Lover's card reverse makes sense because there's no love lost here. These two definitely. Can I be honest? The Lover's card reverse is always like we spent too much time together. You know when like you spend too much time with someone and it's bitch eating crackers? That's kind of what it is. They just got on their nerves because they were spending too much time together. The Three of Swords is reversed, which tells me that Ice is definitely paranoid right now. She's like predicting heartbreak before it began. So she's paranoid. And so I think she's in that energy of like strike before they strike me. I feel like Ice is feeling like everyone's switching up on her. And so she's kind of on the offense instead of the defense now because she's like, all right, fuck all y'all then. Because she feels like everybody's switching up on her. The Ace of Wands when it's reversed is Cleotrapa. That's the return of an old issue. So it seems like they had an issue prior that just kind of was like salt in the wound. If I'm being honest, I think there was an altercation between Ice and someone else that stirred up old issues between Ice and Cleo. If I'm going to be really honest, I actually think these two were real friends. So the High Priestess is reversed. So High Priestess is like a lack of trust and a lack of healing. And the Three of Wands is about other people getting in the middle. And the Knight of Swords is pure intentions. They both actually have good intentions for each other. And I really do think that they both love each other. I mean, the Lover's card being reversed makes sense, right? Because you spend too much time together and now it's bitch eating crackers. This is actually salvageable. I'm not going to lie to you. Pretty shocked at that. I mean, I don't know how long it'll take or if it'll actually happen, but there's definitely potential for them to kind of heal the wound just because I do think the two of them really do care about each other and do love each other, which I'm kind of shocked to see, but it's the truth. It's there. I do feel like it's one of those things where Ice is just massively paranoid and then it seemed to trigger an old issue in Cleo. Especially with that Three of Wands, there's a messy person in the middle between these two. It seems like there is somebody here that was like putting a bug in Cleo's ear and making her think things. Probably do the same to Ice. But the thing here is that the person Ice had an issue with previously, I think that they're framing it in a way in which, because there's a third person in the middle, I don't know who this is, but they're framing it in a way in which Ice looks bad, and I'm not saying Ice is innocent, but I do think that that person is a little more guilty than Cleo realizes, and so they put that battery in Cleo's back. Yeah, because there was a lie that was told about Ice to her. There was a lie. Moon is upright, Queen of Swords reversed, and Four of Cups, which tells me that someone who was cut off from Ice cut someone off, and they fed a lie to Cleo. Or made something seem one way when it was actually another. And then Ice is just like, fuck all y'all, I don't give a fuck. So it's kind of sad, to be honest. This actually made me more sad than I expected because basically messiness and paranoia caused a fallout here that didn't need to happen. Eight of Wands is a slowing down. Eight of Pentacles. I think what we're seeing, obviously we're seeing a slowdown in Ice's career. I mean, she really literally went from everyone loving her and being obsessed with her to going to the Met Gala to, being dropped by everyone. And, I personally want to just say something. I know Gen Z is not very loyal to their people that they stan, and the younger generation is going to be even worse. Alpha is going to be even worse. And I get that. But I will say is I do want to make this comment. And I've talked about this on my lives before. I will say that it is very obvious to me the pattern of behavior that keeps happening, which is that the mainstream public, which, is predominantly white, right, will sort of rally around a person of color and put them on a pedestal. And then the first minute they can, they will ditch them. And it's almost like this like pity that they have for certain people of color, and they like pity love them, and then they drop them when it's inconvenient. And I do feel like the public kind of did that to Ice. And that's just my opinion. But that's a topic for a whole nother video. And I just wanted to say that because I do feel like Ice is not always given the fairest of shots. And I do think a lot of it does come down to the fact that she is a person of color. But that's my opinion. Anyways, regardless, her career is definitely at a little bit of a standstill. But the thing here is that I feel like Ice is kind of she's lost a little bit of her creative juice. She's not really inspired. And I think that's kind of where you're seeing Cleo's claims of like, oh, you're copying me. Do I think that there's a little bit of copycat or asshole energy? Kind of. I mean, Capricorns are known for that, so I'm not shocked that Ice is doing that. But you're gonna get mad at me, but it's the truth. Capricorns are the #1 sign to copy someone else. However, when the Knight of Wands reverse, the Seven of Pentacles reverse, and the Four of Pentacles, I see that more as like sisters sharing things than anything. It doesn't really feel malicious. If anything, it's almost like Ice is like trying to get inspired. So she's, she wanted to look different or act different or wear different things. I'm going to be honest with you. Ice is creatively blocked. She's got writer's block. And so her doing things that are maybe copied from other people is her way of trying to gain inspiration again, because she doesn't want to admit that she's kind of stuck right now and in a creatively stifled place. She just doesn't really know what to do. I do think that Ice is creative, but she's hit a wall. I think a lot of artists deal with this, where when they get famous, they kind of lose their juice. And I think she's kind of in that moment of like losing her juice. The Eight of Cups is upright, the Hermit's reversed, and the Five of Swords is reversed. I do think that there's potential for her to do some sort of big collab that will help her feel more creative. King of Cups, I mean, I think it might be with a male artist. I don't know. It's hard to tell. King of Cups could be female too. But potential water sign, but not always. Just basically what I'm saying is that I think for her creative juice is going to be reinstated via collaborations. So if she keeps trying to do things on her own, I think she's going to feel frustrated. I think she really needs to collab. She kind of needs to do something a little bit more shocking and different for her. And I'm going to be honest with you. I know a lot of you guys are going to roll your eyes, but I do think that I see her going a little bit more pop. I see something poppy. Because what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is like Iggy Azalea. I know you guys are going to roll your eyes, but GG. I basically see that. So it's like I'm seeing a little bit more of like a pop flair added to her next endeavors, because Tower is destroying what's already built. Page of Cups, what we're attached to, or destroying it, but it's not completely different. Temperance card reverse, it's just slightly different. I guess, think of like Pink Panthers, right? The song that made her go like mega viral, Ice. It's mostly a pop song, and then Ice comes in, and so I think that she kind of wants to play with pop music. Nine of Pentacles, Death, and Two of Cups. Yeah, because I think for her, she's kind of thinking like, I'm not really the hardcore rapper type of girl. I need to go more like poppy. Hopefully she continues this, because I actually think this will be where her success kind of lies, if she goes a little bit more of the Doja Cat route than necessarily like the Nicki Minaj route. Although Nicki did do pop for a while. I just think that for her, like rapping super hard and stuff like that, not really her forte. And I think that's okay. I think there's room enough for everyone. I think for her, the conversation's going to be, should she work with a new producer? because I'm seeing a lot of producers want to work with her and make her more pop, but it looks like perhaps there's some issues with her or her and Riot or whatever. But and I mean, Riot's a good beat maker, but I do think that there are other producers. Like, we're looking at people like, I don't want to jinx this for her, but what I'm seeing in my mind's eye, and this doesn't mean it's going to be him, but I'm seeing like Dr. Luke. So it's like Max Martin, Dr. Luke. So to me, that symbolizes like mainstream pop. Doesn't mean it has to be those particular producers. And I'm sure it probably won't be, right? Hopefully. But what I'm saying is like, I'm seeing like, although we love Max Martin, but what I'm seeing is like essentially like more of like a poppy sound and working with different production, because the stars upright, the Two of Wands, and the Judgment card. I think, you know, people are kind of counting Ice out, but I don't think you should do that. I do think she can pivot if she's smart. We'll see though, because right now she's kind of being bratty because she doesn't want to admit that like she's on a creative wall, hit a creative wall. But she definitely needs to change up her looks and her image a little bit. You know what's interesting too is, I feel like for her, other people really, really like her. I've said this before. The industry really likes her. So the industry does not want her to fail. Normally, the industry would just toss you, but for some reason, people really like her, because I'm seeing like a board of executives and all of them have a different thing that they want Ice to do. They feel like Ice fits the mold of a lot of different things. And I'm seeing people be like, I'm seeing like one producer be like, I can get this out of her. And another producer be like, I can get this out of her. Like, someone being like, I could totally get her into like an EDM song. I can get her into this. Like, I can, like, people are really trying to saying how versatile she could be if they just let her. And so I think it's more of like about Ice just accepting that she needs to evolve and grow past just like what she's been doing. But I don't think they want to let go of her, at least not yet. So there's still hope for Ice. And I will say, do I think that she's like this mean girl, whatever? No, I think she's lashing out because she feels alone and she feels like everyone's ditching her. To me, I would say more of an abandonment wound where she's kind of like, well, fuck you too then, bitch. And she's kind of like kicking people out before they can kick her out of their life. So I would say, you know, I'm sure she's not the greatest of persons right now. I mean, shocker, a celebrity gets massively famous overnight and gets a huge ego and is an egotistical maniac. Shocker. But I do think that there is a soft side to her. I think she's just struggling with vulnerability. And I think if she learns to be vulnerable, she'll win the public back over. But, you know, if not, then someone else will sit in your spot, Ice. So good luck. Hopefully you guys like this. And I do think these two can kind of come back together at some point if they wanted to. Work it out in the remix, girls. Join the YouTube members. Girl. Come on, Miss Poopy. Get it together.